Good evening, everyone. My name is Fabian. I am your storyteller for tonight, and welcome to Ashes of New Amsterdam. This is a mature stream, just so you know. Let me get my notes up. Too many things today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us. And as you can see, we're missing one Vin today. Hopefully they're enjoying the concert that they're at. But with three of our mages, we're still gonna have a lot of fun. Quick announcements. You can help our mages out in the game if you feel inclined to. Donate $10 to give them a reroll, $20 to give them a flashback, which is an auto success in a dire situation. Donations go for paying operational costs of the channel and keeping the lights on. But if you want to just help the players out, these perks are also available through channel points as well. So if you have enough, you might be able to help them out. After the break, we also have some exciting announcements. So stick around for that. Content warnings, Scopophobia, emotional distress, religious iconography, secret societies, and other dark themes. So if you need to step away, we understand. You can come back at any time. If anything, feel free. Batty gets a reroll. Yeah, if ever you need to step away, the VOD is going to be there. If you don't catch the rest of the episode. Let me introduce ourselves, myself and our mages for tonight. I'm your storyteller, Fabian. You can find me at Rockets and Pens, also here at Bad House RPG. And yeah, Batty.
Yes, I am Batty, and I'm playing Sophie. Our pronouns are she, they.
Bully.
Hello, I am Bully, and I will be playing Deckard. Both of our pronouns are he, him.
And last but not least, Z.
Hi, I'm Z or Zach. My pronouns are they, he, she. Today I'm playing Francis. His pronouns are he, him.
Last we left off the mages, they had quite of a morning. Francis had trouble vanquishing the seal of a precarious cream cheese container. Also battled with the oven, making a souffle. But eyes are on Heather, where they had a meeting with their landlord, and an unfortunate accident happened. Later on in the day, after everybody has calmed down, they headed their way downtown to an NYU dorm, where there they met Aaron. Aaron, the brother of Tobee, proved to be armed with magical armaments, and with a little bit of talking, they were able to let Aaron know their real intentions, only to help their brother Tobee. With a text, they headed down to Chinatown to meet Tobee. And Deckard was along checking on other things with the paradox manifestation. As Deckard gets a text and gets off the Q train and heads towards the location given by their Coven mates, a general feeling of unease creeps behind his neck. A feeling of being watched. After looking around to find nothing, he gets to the restaurant where he is supposed to meet the rest. Upon entering the threshold, sound warps and time slows. The regular chatter in the dining room comes to a halt, and in front of them, Tobee sits trying to enjoy a bowl of noodles. You look around, and everything stops. You hear Tobee. Aaron, I just wanted to enjoy a nice afternoon snack with you. And you bring these fuckers in front of me. Aaron stammers a little bit. They're just trying to help. They apparently know more of the situation than I do. You lied to me. You said the demon thing was over, but apparently it's not. The three of you notice a bag next to Tobee. A phone rings. Heather has to take a call outside. After a few minutes, you get a text saying they need to take care of something back in Brooklyn. Something about their landlord. The three of you remain. What are you guys doing?
Francis looks around at everything going on and is like, hi Deckard. Hi Tobee. Hi Aaron. Aaron, what's all this?
This ain't a trap, is it? You have to tell me if it is.
Aaron, is this a trap?
It's not a trap. No, Look, I don't understand what's going on as well. But we're here to talk, Tobee. You owe me that much. Please don't do anything crazy. Tobee, after putting quite a significant amount of noodles in his mouth, swallows. You want to talk? Then let's talk. He gestures to a chair. A chair pulls up. Sit.
So we walk up, Francis walks over and like clasps Deckard on the shoulder and leans in. And they're still walking forward, and Francis is just like, okay, so to get the whole rundown, we met up with Tobee. Tobee threatened us. We managed to calm him down. Now he was like, let's get some food. Turns out food was Tobee. Did I say
Met up with
Tobee?
Aaron, darling.
We met up with Aaron. Aaron threatened us with a wand. Aaron brought us to Tobee. Here we are. There's no food. There is food. If you want food, we can order food. How are you? Tell me later.
If I ask... If I offer to pay the bill, that's code for fuck 'em up.
Noted.
That's very good. Okay, let's do it.
You guys sit down. And as you sit down, there is this weird aroma coming from the bag that is onto the side. Just a paper bag. You also notice something. Tobee's shirt is familiar. It seems like the same shirt that Power was wearing the night before. So, Spill, what do you want to talk about?
So,
Sophie's gonna kind of whisper in Francis's ear, darling, I know that you're much better at this than I am, but did you catch a whiff of that aroma? Do you recognize it?
Make me a wits and, let's say, science.
Wits and science.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a sniff for science.
Just need you to make 2 successes.
Yeah, 3.
3? Okay. With 3 successes, it just smells like regular kind of herbs. Some wolfsbane, some... It's not a fragrant aroma. It's definitely some dried kind of herbs. Wouldn't be surprised if it's for a ritualistic endeavor.
Herbaceous. Shrimpy. What's on your mind, my darling?
Just curious as to what Tobee might have in store, but thank you. Perhaps the shrimp is the dumplings on the nearby cart, though.
See a
It's the
cart.
dumplings.
You see a cart filled with like these steam baskets, bamboo steam baskets with dim sum.
Okay, so that's what that is. No demon dumplings in store for us, hopefully. Tobee, you come here often?
Matter of fact, I do. It's my favorite place.
Oh, we know that now. Not that we're gonna come here a lot. Listen, I wanted to ask you about your recent activities. You, well, broke into my house. And
I apologize. Honestly. If you're looking for financial compensation, you guys have insurance, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't have money.
not about money, you also seduced our wonderful attendee and thereupon brought harm to them. Physical harm.
Give my regards and tell her that I'm sorry. It was just part of a plan. Not my plan, but a plan. It was out of my
Yeah.
hands.
Out of your hands, but in someone's.
Yeah.
Was it for this someone that you burned the crown of Jesus Christ?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Look, Power told me everything. And told me
Everything?
what they told you, and it's not a lie. So, if you don't want to get involved, I think that's reasonable. But I need you to stay out of my way. Because this demon is going by regardless.
I thought you were working with the demon.
You understand the concept of a double agent, correct? You've watched
Yeah.
spy movies. I've seen you on the red carpets. Of course, you've been.
I produced one or two.
Well, good for you. Let me ask you. Does any one of you know how to take care of a demon?
When you say take care of, you talking about sex demon stuff or?
Well, no. I can give you some pointers if you'd like. But not that take care of.
Then no, at least I don't. Unless like the stuff in movies and stuff works. Holy water, salt, circles.
See, the problem with demons, they can just come back. So, I need to find a way to make sure that my problem doesn't come back. If I take care of it, I take care of it for good.
How is it, Tobee, that you have come to know how to take care of demons?
The academe can be quite informative.
And I would suspect a demon being a lot more powerful than humans, and maybe even some mages. Do you think this demon has any idea that you are planning to take care of them for good?
I mean, whether or not I did have the plan, he always acts as if I am. That's just them. Here's the thing. Us, the 5 of us here right now, are one of the biggest threats to the supernatural communities around in the city. We can do anything. We can bend reality to our will. Even demons think that we're a danger to them. Do you not know the hierarchies? Well, kindred, as they like to be called, bottom of the food chain. They think they're the big dogs, but honestly, one werewolf can tear apart a whole coven, like a whole coterie, on their own. You have the wraiths, then you have changelings. The demons are up there, but up the top, us. We pose a great threat to everything they hold dear. Because several of us, powerful enough to change reality, can change everything for them. So, this demon acts as if I already planned off him. And I do. And I'm so close to doing so.
Am I mistaken in thinking you made your own job a little bit harder by burning the crown of Jesus Christ?
Oh no. Made it a little easier, if I'll be honest. Why would you assume that?
I figured maybe... Here's the theory that was working in my head. The demon wanted you to destroy holy relics so that maybe you would have an easier time causing commotions here, and with that maybe your debt would be paid off. I imagine the crown of Jesus Christ is not a good friend to demons.
You assume right. And the debt that I have is not to be paid. It was made to fuck me over. But I think it was worth it. And he looks at Aaron. I wouldn't not take that deal if I had the chance to do it all over again. I assume, looking at Sophie and Francis, that you'd do the same if you were in my position.
I would.
Perhaps. But that being said, I do believe we would tell each other about the intricacies of the deal.
See, the problem with that, he points over to Aaron, is this hard-headed piece of shit right here will do everything in his power to help me, putting him in the line of danger. And I don't want that.
Well, that's noble of you as an older sibling. But now we're all dragged into this because you ask if we want to be involved. It's kind of a little late for that. You did ransack our house and cause a small supernatural fire in our workshop.
I mean...
And not only that, Archambault came to our house as well.
He looks at Bully.
Yes.
If somebody let me burn it in the first place, we wouldn't be in this position, right?
I mean, we could play that game all day. If your brother wouldn't have made the deal, we wouldn't be in it. But there's a lot of things that led up to your decision to try to steal something in front of Deckard Reed.
You have a point. So, what are we doing now? Because I still have work to do, and I would like to do it on a full stomach. Am I to expect hostility right now?
I mean, generally, yes.
No,
No.
actually, no. We have no intentions of causing any hostilities, especially not in this fine establishment.
Thank you.
Please continue to eat your noodles.
Thank you, because this is kind of getting exhausting, and the sound starts to start again. You hear the clinking of the pots and pans in the kitchen that is just in the front. The smell will start to hit your nose again, and the chatter from the people around you. You notice one waiter looking at you, perplexed, as if wondering when you guys started to seat yourselves at that table. Comes over. Can I take your order? Tobee leans back and is like, in Cantonese, just orders for you. And give me what you guys would order. Start with Batty.
I was gonna say the shrimp xiaolongbao. Like,
Okay.
clearly that's what we were smelling, right?
Mm-hmm. Z, what were you going to order?
Probably like shumai. Maybe like 2 orders of it, and jasmine tea.
And Deckard, what would you have ordered?
Decker was about to ask Francis what he should order, but if he had to decide for himself, he would have ordered crab rangoon.
Okay.
But like a lot of it.
You start to hear these orders, and you start to hear specific words. And he said, I got it. And he points over to the tattoo. Can't really hide anything from me. And Francis, you're familiar with that tattoo. It means that he is specialized in the mind sphere.
I would prefer if you stay out of our heads for the remainder of the dinner. Lunch. Snack.
Fair enough. So now that you're involved, does this mean that you want to help? Or do you just want the cliff notes of what I'm about to do?
I would be as bold as to say, I personally don't trust you doing anything else by yourself.
Fair enough. Roll me wits and insight. Any of you can. Difficulty of 3.
Five.
3.
2 successes.
2 successes. Deckard,
Oh, no,
Francis.
Wait, I get a reroll, right?
Yes, you
Or
can.
did someone
You can
did
use your
someone get
reroll.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna save it.
Okay, cool. Deckard, Francis, there is a sigh of relief from Tobee, as if he is glad that he doesn't have to do this alone anymore. And this comes back to you. You remember the time at the collective after meeting Austin, where he refused to help Tobee. It seems he hated doing this alone. But now, people believe him and are willing to actually, at the very least, listen to what he has to say. I think that last bit particularly deckered you, Clock, because of the 5 successes. I'm really glad. Not gonna lie. I'm really glad and relieved that somebody's actually listening to me. Went to the Marauders and this was a non-issue to Austin, fortunately, but not to me. So thank you.
I can't say I'm excited to be getting involved. Feels kind of obligatory at this point, but the goddamn demon knows where I live, so I guess we gotta do something about this. And like I said, we're in by default, and if it means protecting my home and those I love, and she nods and looks at Francis, then we'll do what we have to. So what is your plan, Tobee?
Well, you'd be crazy to be excited about this, of course, and I understand, and I apologize to getting you involved. I need something. A weapon. A nail in the coffin, if you would. But my only 3 options are quite well guarded, although the 2 of you might be able to help me with 1. Maybe several even, with your status. See, the reason why I've been doing this dirty demon's bidding is to learn something. Its real name. That's just one part of what I need. Another, a blade, a piercing object from a supernatural source. And right now, there are 3 in the city that I can think of. We have a Dragon's Fang and the Natural History Museum. The fools over there think it's some form of prehistoric creature. A skeleton, I mean. They're about to put it on display, but they're cleaning it up, so there is a chance to grab that. The Met, the bumbling fools at the Met don't know what they have in their Arthurian display. A sword. The Fable Sword. I don't really need to explain to you which one it is. Lastly, something that I wish I snagged until I was unceremoniously shunted into the East River. The Spear of Destiny, which is at your friend's place, the Moss Twins. Now, I think I've done a lot of legwork, so I'm gonna let you decide what we go for, and I assume y'all can help me out either way.
Well, I must admit, friends are a bit of a stretch, but I say that we are quite familiar with the Moss Twins. And, well, I'd say we know the lay of the land there the most. What do you think, darling? And Sophie looks at Francis.
I would rather us handle that, because even if we do succeed in procuring the spear of you know what, I don't want them hurt, so I would rather us do it.
True. And I guess if we're going to piss anyone off, might as well be rich assholes like the Moss Twins rather than actual institutions that we could have our name on a very terrible blacklist. I don't want that.
See, I like that about you two. Yeah, those sickos. They don't deserve what they all have. Ugh. You know the rumors, right? disgusting.
No.
This is in Alabama.
What?
Oh, you don't know?
Darling, that's one of the more unsavory bits of salacious gossip.
Oh. Did not know.
Yeah, the twins are quite close, intertwined even. But we don't have to go into that.
We
You've
shouldn't.
been- Yes. You've been awfully quiet.
Oh, you're talking. Oh shit! I just got it too. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I'm taking for the time. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering. I feel a little in over my head right now, and I don't know. We're just supposed to get you a weapon and hope you don't use it or give it to your demon overlord for whatever nefarious purpose.
Well,
You
I'm
just gotta
definitely
trust that you're gonna do the right thing.
Well, I'm definitely going to use it. But I'm not going to give it. Let's sweeten the pot. And he kind of joins his hands, clasps it, and kind of like leans into all of you. I'll give you each one favor if you help me out with this. And obviously, I don't really need your help. I would most likely appreciate it. I know each and every one of you should have wants and needs, especially you, and points to you, Deckard. There's a lot of heat on you.
What do you mean? What have you heard?
Hmm.
Who talked? He
I
looked at Francis.
believe Power mentioned something. No, not Francis. Something about eyes on you.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you
they did.
felt that you're never alone, maybe even being watched?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well,
What's it to you?
before all of this, my job was to make sure that people like us are safe from people that are watching you right now. The technocracy, you heard anything? Has anybody mentioned that yet?
He just looks at the other two. I guess we haven't got to that part of things yet.
It's later on in the curriculum.
Yeah, that's the more advanced.
This feels important. Advanced? Okay. This feels like something maybe I should know off the bat.
Let me give you a crash course. Back before things were segmented the way that it is now, there was a war. A war of overzealous assholes that think that they're better than everybody else. That their beliefs mattered more than the others. Cults. And unfortunately, that war had to end. And the people that did put an end to that is the technocracy. The thing is, the technocracy, some of them are well-meaning. They want the progress of humanity. But some of them wanted power, domination, all that jazz. They liked doing things a certain way. And apparently there was a mage that came into the city that kind of threatened the way that they were doing things. And to my recollection, the name that they mentioned was one Deckard Reed. That is your name, right?
Deckard. I
Yeah.
had no idea you were so rebellious. How is it that you've already gotten involved with the technocracy? You just arrived, and you just got your powers.
I mean, I think I've had my powers. I just didn't know they were powers. I did just arrive, but I arrived to get away from people who are after me. It's the same people. You're saying so? I was right. There's this whole shadow government thing trying to watching me.
Oh yeah, obviously I'm just letting you know it's not the Illuminati, but definitely it's a shady government thing. Well, at least an organization with ties to it.
And you two weren't going to tell me this. This is a thing. You knew this. You knew there's a whole.
How were we to know that you were involved with a shady government thing?
I mean, it just would have been nice to know to mention. Hey, there's a secret magic government that doesn't like us too. I'm
Deckard,
relieved that I was right.
Have
But this is
happened.
very.
We've been busy.
This makes me
A lot of things have happened in the last few days,
You were-
Deckard. It's not like we weren't going to tell you, but a demon showed up at our home.
Demon. I got people showing up everywhere all the time. And all right, yeah, okay. This is.
Had you told us, perhaps we could have enlightened you. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It makes me sound crazy.
Well, you're
turns out
not.
I'm right.
Well, we all sound a little crazy because we're mages.
And you start getting food served to you.
Oh shit, that was a good crab rank.
Yeah. And Tobee just thanks the man. Look, you guys can argue all you want on your time. But like I said, I can offer you a favor. I can give you what you want. Protection. I've dealt with them before. There's one thing that Austin taught me is to deal with mages like them. And when I say deal with them. So.
Just to be clear, Tobee, what exactly are you offering Deckard? Are you saying you're just going to just wipe out those watching eyes, and that's supposed to make everything better for Deckard, as if they aren't going to retaliate?
Well, I can make an example. Probably maybe 2 mages tailing you right now. 2 other people. I can take care of those 2, and they'll get the hint. It's not the first time I've done this.
I don't think a deal with a devil's gonna solve a situation. That started with a deal with the devil.
Ironic, right?
I'm more concerned that I don't think you're a good person, and I don't like giving bad people powerful weapons. So I'll tell you what, I'll cash in my thing now. I want you to apologize to Geraldine. I want you to mean it, because it's pretty fucked up what you did. People's hearts aren't that aren't fodder in this weird celestial war you got going on. That's a real person with real feelings. You don't deserve any of that. I'm not comfortable giving you a weapon until you fix that. And also, what's your situation with Austin Chase?
He kind of like winces at the name. If any one of you wants to call Geraldine over, I will sincerely give an apology. She did not deserve what she got. And honestly, I'll tell you right now, that bruise on her cheek was not from me. Never lay a hand on her. But you're fair. Also, now that we're all into this together, I don't need to be the one hand pulling the trigger. Could be one of you. If you have trouble trusting me, that is, with a weapon. I don't mind. All I want is this demon gone.
No, you should do it. This is your mess.
It's up to you. I'm just saying.
But we'll be watching.
Doesn't matter to me anyway. So that's all you want. You don't want me to take care of your problem.
No.
Well, if you change your mind, if we get through this, my offer stands. And the two of you, if you need a boon from me as well, I'm more than happy to give it to you as a thank you. And for the matter of Austin Chase, the man is corrupted, washed up, and misguided.
Oh. Alright.
The simple idea, the simple fact that I took the deal instead of my brother, letting my brother suffer the deal, made him unhappy. So,
What does make him happy then? If
apparently the love of a kindred.
The what?
He's the prince's pet right now.
Oh, so he's got a girlfriend. Interesting.
We all dive into relationships how we want, but the thing that I make sure of is what my relationships do not do is affect my work. Unfortunately, Mr. Chase, let's it.
Speaking of, I can't help but notice that you have the same fashion taste as a certain someone we have made the acquaintance of recently.
Oh, I know you've met my lover.
How does power play into all this?
Power and I met a few years ago. Sparked up a conversation. We both found each other interesting. One thing led to another, and what was supposed to be a one-time thing became more regular, and what can I say? I get attached easily.
I mean, I hate to tell you this, but Power laid lips on someone here at this table, and it wasn't me.
Oh, I know. We're pretty open like that.
I keep forgetting y'all do that here. Yeah, okay. Alright, just making sure.
Deckard, I didn't know you were such a narc.
I just don't win. If we're fighting a demon with this guy and he finds out that
Okay,
his
we don't need to
lover's
air
been
out dirty laundry, darling.
cheating on him, and then he uses that thing against us. I don't know.
That is
I ain't
between
letting
them.
y'all's smooching problems get in the way of my life. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Perhaps you should smooch more. Anyway, just wanted to make sure that this is not more complicated than what meets the eye, because it sure does seem like this web of entanglement just keeps getting stickier, and I would rather not get more parties involved or step on anyone else's toes than those who are already involved.
That's fair. But again, a boon to each of you as a thank you.
Well, I have half a mind to tell you that you need to come to my place and clean up, and that's not as a favor, that's as reparation. You ransacked our home, and I'm inclined to make you my cleaning person for that.
I'll tell you what. I think this should be fair. Get me that Spear of Destiny, and while you do so, I will make sure that your house is spotless. Rewarding included.
That's the least that you could do, to be honest.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Might teach this kid a thing or two about warding, too. Errors like me. Yeah, I think it's time.
Speaking of Aaron, I do believe you owe your sibling an apology. While you're on the apology train, let's build up that character of yours, Tobee.
And Tobee just looks at Aaron and just like does an air kiss, like, and Aaron just like just nods his head, and then they bump fists. Happy?
Cute. As long as your family situation is settled for you, again, would rather not make this any messier than it needs to be.
You're right. I do regret keeping my brother in the dark. I should have more faith. But we're here now. I know I can't evoke sympathy, nor do I deserve it. But I do hope you understand why I did it.
You made quite a mess, but truth be told, I can understand why you did it. You were protecting your own, and you were putting your honor on the line, despite how devious a deal you got involved in. But again, now that we're involved, I would rather do what we can to protect those we care about. So, what's your timeline? When do you need this weapon by? Just as soon as possible? Did you have a game plan?
I mean, 3 nights from now would be nice.
Is there a specific ritual that needs to happen? What other components are involved?
You're right. He kind of like scoots up, takes out a small notebook from his back pocket, opens it on the table. I got a few spells. You know, trip from... it was an unenjoyable trip all the way to Massachusetts. Like, who wants to go to Massachusetts, right?
So we've heard.
Nobody.
Well, basically, it's a cage. Well, to us, it's a magic circle, but to them, it's a cage. Any one of you specialize in these things?
Are you referring to ritual casting?
So, like, casting circles, yeah.
Casting circles? Yes. Kind of. I have a little more knowledge than the rest of my knowledge in that.
Good. These casting circles were never really my specialty. Everything is just practical for me. And you see there is a casting circle you've never seen before. Not because it's intricate, but it's just seems that it has a different purpose. The sign language on the circle itself is different from regular casting circles.
So this one is specifically made for... It's demon-shaped.
Yeah, it is.
I see.
Just
and you've done
enough.
this before, or you know what you're doing?
Oh no, I've never done this before in my life, but I never failed anything. Well, looks at Deckard. I've only failed a few things in my life.
Where did you come about this knowledge? The academe? Is that you feel confident that this is truly what you think it is, and it's not just some circle that we're going to draw on the ground with chalk and then push a demon into it and then he's just going to hurl back at us?
Well, several sources. From power, from the academe, from the... I forgot what they call them. The Witches Academia all the way in Salem. We have rogue mages all along the way. I asked several who may or may not have dealt personally, but at least has history with these kind of things. When I do something, I want to be sure.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I imagine if we get this wrong, our gooses are cooked. I don't think a demon will take kindly to the fact that we're trying to trap it and end it.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm not gonna lie, it is a dangerous job. And if you want to back out, I understand. I'm still gonna go through with this.
Is there anything else you're hiding from us? Anything else this might cost?
Just the bill. And points to the food.
Okay.
There's no reason for me to hide anything. I'm just glad that somebody would listen.
Can I quickly insight
Yeah.
and with some?
Do you want to read his mind?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I was like, that would make me a hypocrite. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I have to roll.
You need to roll wits and insight. Difficulty of 3.
Yeah. Four successes.
4 successes. You hear in his mind, God, I am so happy that this is working out. I hope this works out. I hope they don't back out. I am so tired. I just want this to be over.
Okay. Looks at Deckard and smiles and just says, I'll get the bill.
Deckard makes a movement for his equipment and realized that Francis probably isn't about to start attacking, so.
Francis just slaps down a very heavy metal card.
If you need anything from the night market, I can take care of that.
Actually, maybe. Hey, Deckard. Did you happen to solve that whole anomaly problem?
The what problem?
That mess back at your place.
With the hole, and it crawls, and the
And
footsteps.
the goo.
Oh, you're
Goo.
dealing with a paradox manifestation?
No. Did you deal with the paradox manifestation?
No. I did not know that's what it was, and I don't even know what that is now.
I thought I explained that decently well, but I might have been drunk.
I mean, you do, but I don't know how to deal with it, I guess is what I mean.
Ah. Right.
But did you at least mop the floor?
No, I live in a pigeon coop, essentially. I mean, what am I going to be doing mopping? The pigeons came back.
Anyway, why are you so interested all of a sudden, Tobee?
Oh, yeah, me and Austin took care of one before. They're different. They're all different. Some are harmless, some are harmful.
Oh, how would you know?
Oh, when you see it.
Oh. As in, it's just aggressive?
Some are.
Or
The one
not?
that we dealt with was definitely aggressive.
Okay.
What did you do to deal with it?
Well, me and Austin, we had to send it back. Send it back to where it came from.
So just like banishing magic.
Pretty much.
No big deal.
Master of Correspondence can do it.
How about this? Let's say hypothetically there is one. Could you capture it for us? Don't send it back yet without letting us have a look.
Are you cashing in your boon?
That's my boon.
Okay.
Valid.
Francis, you ain't gotta use your boon on something that's
smart.
affecting me.
Yes. Because it might also give you, and quite frankly, me, an opportunity to take a look at it. Up close and personal could be a learning experience for all of us.
Sure.
Truthfully, Francis wants to sniff it.
I do kind
Okay,
of want to
that
see.
makes
Do
sense.
you have any of the any sample of the portal it came through?
Yes.
A very small amount.
Any amount
Sophie
would
reaches
do.
down into like her giant Chanel bag or whatever, like tote bag, and pulls out this like coat wire hanger antenna, and there's a little bit of like dried goo at the end. Is this enough to tell you anything?
You have a dowsing. I'll take this off you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. I'm glad that you'll be able to make use of it.
Hey, this makes my job much more easier. And again,
Perfect.
if there's anything you need from the night market, invisibility potions, unlocking picks, anything, let me know and I can make a deal with Power and with Pretty. If it's anything hard to find, then I'll try to talk to Vandal. And I'll
Yeah,
try to
there's
procure
a-
it for you.
There's a good chance we'll probably need those things, but I think we should probably discuss our plan of action first to see the best
Yes, and please enjoy the food.
way to do
It's
this.
one of the best restaurants in the city. Please, we're co-workers now. Let's try to enjoy this. He starts eating. And we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Tobee and Aaron say their goodbyes. Tobee says, "I'll take care of your apartment, and then I'll look for the paradox manifestation and let you know what I find." Is what they say. And there are 3 of you right now. There are 3 fortune cookies on the table. What do you guys do?
Do we have a way to contact him again once we do the thing?
He leaves you guys his number.
Okay.
And in any cases, he says, as much as possible, don't use this one. But if I don't answer from the other one, call this number, and it's Aaron's number. He's saying, Aaron's number is a break glass in case of emergency thing. And then he leaves.
So, currently we are going to go finagle our way into the Moss Twins' estate again. How does
Well, we
everyone
need
feel?
some sort of plan first.
Well,
we may need to procure items from the night market.
Even before that, do you mind if I try some of your food? You guys ordered stuff that looks way better than what I did.
Oh, yes, please. Go
Okay,
right
thank
ahead.
you. No, but
I got
continue
2
on,
orders, and one of them is
market, that's
fully for
perfect,
you.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm too distraught to eat right now. There's a lot to think about. Francis, this could very well jeopardize our position in our circles. You do realize?
Deckard, first of all, you're gonna want to use the chili oil. But
Ooh, vinegar with soy sauce as well.
no, that's good.
He just slathers it on. Yeah, sure.
Deckard, you've now met the Gotham High Society, as well as the Greenwich Collective, and the Marauders a little bit. What did you think of Gotham High Society? You can be honest.
No, okay. Yeah, no offense, but I mean, rich snobs. They have no. I think even if they weren't mages, they wouldn't really understand the plight or anything of like people who actually struggle just to survive for the basic things. All their needs are taken care of, and then some. So they have to invent new problems. Often those problems become our problem. I'm not a fan.
Honestly, you're not wrong. And that's saying something, since we're a part of the society.
I mean, yeah.
You can answer this honestly, too. Do you feel that way about us?
I do not think either one of you are irredeemable or necessarily bad people. I don't know you enough. The positions you're in, I don't know what you do with what you have. If you do that to help people, or I mean, I don't even know if there's a way to get in your position in like kind of a moral way and whatnot. It could get real complicated, but all things considered, you're of that type. You're the best I've met. And if I understand right, you were sort of born into this, weren't you, Francis?
I was.
Francis. Yeah.
And you chose this, Sophie, which I suppose I get.
I chose love. And with it came the way of life that Francis has always known. And there are times when it's fine. And it does afford me a very comfortable life. I'll be the first to admit. But I understand why you hold that opinion of people in this type of society, Deckard. I too was once in a place that I would hold the same opinion. I sometimes think that I forget that, but if I'm honest with myself, I think I purposely choose to forget. And that's perhaps not the most noble thing to do.
It is a luxury
That
to be able to forget.
Well, I can't say that I can permanently forget. Some things are just burned into your mind and into your memory. But I admit that it is a luxury and it is a privilege. And I do try to check that privilege and give back where I can and be a good person, but it's easy to get caught up in keeping up appearances and running in certain circles where everything is a competition and everyone's watching and everyone has an opinion and a rumor to spread. And anyway,
I've been thinking about how the first thing we did was we brought you to that high society party, and you laid your eyes upon the crown of Jesus Christ, and how it was a symbol for so many people, millions in the world. And just because of the circumstances of wealth, it found its way into that party and into our hands and our protection. And as great as we have been as a group, we were definitely woefully unprepared and unqualified to protect it. We should have not had that thing. But it was because of external circumstances that we had it. And there's an unfairness to it, that it was destroyed in our care. And we've been scrambling for a few days, trying to clean up that mess. I've been so grateful, I think, for the opportunity for my whole world to come crashing down around me. I think maybe I'm learning more from you, Deckard, than you are from me. So, I'm okay with our position with the Gotham High Society being destroyed. If it means helping Aaron. Are you okay with that, my love?
Darling, I've scrapped and scratched and nailed my way all the way to be here with you. And if I have to start over again from the bottom, so be it. As long as we have each other, and as long as we're in one piece, and not being chased by demons.
One, I think the chili oil went bad. It's very hot. It ain't nothing like chili I've had. There's no beans in this at all. I don't know. I guess it tastes good, but there's a lot of it in my sinuses. And I'm also tearing up a little bit because that's actually a very beautiful sentiment between the two of you.
Working then. It's clearing your sinuses.
Yeah.
Water, here you go.
Yeah, thank you. Goddamn. I mean, you know my feelings, but it ain't fair to just rip you from your community. Community's everything. That's all we're really looking for, right? And flawed though they may be, I would like to maybe assist in a way that we could do this where we can get the item, but not necessarily kind of blow up your spot with them. I'm very good at, getting things, taking things, being in and out, all that stuff's very much in my wheelhouse. The problem is if there's people around or talking to me or looking at me and all this stuff, I'm not as comfortable with that. And especially if they're other mages, if there's people on alert, I'd like them not to be on alert. So maybe we could do just, very simple, the distraction and the extraction stuff.
Yes. I can be very distracting. So,
Yes, you can.
oh, stop it, you.
As can I. No.
I mean, if you
That
need to
said-
smooch your way through, I guess that's fine. But I thought maybe,
No.
you just know them, you could talk to them maybe, and just,
Right.
I don't know.
We can.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not gonna be smooching them.
No, I do not plan on smooching my
Definitely
mom's
not
twins.
after what I heard from Tobee.
No, yeah, no,
Goodness
not at
me.
all. No, thank you. Pass. The thing about community is, Deckard, community supports each other. Community is there for one another. Community builds a solid foundation. I can't say that the Greenwich Society or the Gotham High Society actually is that to Francis and I. Francis and I, we are our community. So it won't be the end of the world if we burn some bridges.
It almost
that
sounds
said-
like you want to.
I didn't say that. However, I am saying that if you're looking for community, the Greenwich Collective is probably more of that sort of thing. But I agree. We should get in there and we should make as little waves as possible. If you don't want to have eyes on you, we can think of something. Perhaps we can make you appear to be a janitor, or just make you invisible altogether. What do you think, darling?
It could be good. I could convince everyone that you're not there. I saw that in a movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just need the other mages distracted. Yeah, y'all
Yeah.
can keep the high society busy and off
We
my
can
ass.
handle a distraction.
I can. I think I could get the thing, probably with Heather's help too.
Okay.
Unless we need
And-
it immediately. Oh, go ahead.
If worse comes to worse and we get compromised, I'm willing to go the extra mile, and with my newfound resolve, stir shit up.
We'll do what we have to.
Okay. I was gonna say you could pretend to, also be against me if I get caught, but I do trust you. I trust each of you.
I was just gonna punch Mr. Moss, but that
We trust you too, Deckard. Let's not choose punching as the first option.
Okay. I haven't punched anyone this whole time.
I was just about to ask if you'd punch anyone.
I've never done that before. It looks like it hurts.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's more of an emotional release than anything.
Oh, I could use that. Well,
All right.
Shall we?
While we're kind of being open about things and whatnot, if you, I know how to come. I'm about to come out and ask this. What's the deal with the Amity?
Oh.
I mean, we're just talking about fat. You mentioned Greenwich and me going with them and whatnot, and I just heard some things,
Right.
and whatnot, and you said what you do for love, and I assume, I
Mhm.
guess I don't know if you didn't love her, or maybe you did love her, but now you love him.
that is spicy.
Was this like an overlap situation or sort of a very, very different? I mean, I do, at first, I'm gonna admit, at first I thght you were sort of a gold digging type. I see Francis, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Okay.
You could do much better. What are you doing with this? But the more time I spent with Francis, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Thank you.
Yes.
But
Might I remind you that I'm a very famed jewelry designer by my own credit. I don't necessarily need Francis's place in this society, but it helps, we've become a bit of a power couple, so to speak. You're right, it is quite warm in here, actually. Perhaps we should get some fresh air. Are you about finished with your meal, Deckard?
yeah.
Great.
Walk and talk.
Yeah, let's walk and talk, yes. We've already taken care of the bill, right, dear?
Yes, I accidentally tipped $250. We should just go.
Perfect! They deserve it.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, Tobee stopped time and everything. That must have been uncomfortable. It must have been awkward.
Stressful, yeah.
Shall we?
And you guys head out. And I think you explained to Deckard throughout that what the situation was with Amity was, with how Amity was in love but never said anything. And when you got married, the relationship went all to shit. And you guys go through the night, you guys plan through it, and I think this is a good point to take our break. And yeah, we will be back. Stay tuned for announcements, and yeah, stand, stretch, hydrate. See you guys in a bit. Good evening, howdy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking around. This is Ashes of New Amsterdam, a Darkness Eternal Mage game, here by Bad House RPG. Before we get back to the game, few announcements. Return of fan favorite Itaewon by Night, arriving soon. Tuesday, May 16, will be the season premiere of Bad House and Darkness Eternal's flagship show. Catch it with Jay, Hamna, Youngles, Josephine, and myself as we roam the streets of Itaewon with new looks, new allies, and new enemies in what could be a deadly season. Make sure you follow us. here or Twitter, or you can also check out our Discord for updates on that. You can also, we are actually now on TikTok, so you can check out regular clip uploads there if you want to reminisce on what's been happening with the shows of Bad House RPG. And if you like our programming, yeah, definitely join our Discord. We have channels for that. You can chat with the producers and also with the cast members, and just overall be fun people. And yeah, that gotten out of the way. Last we left off, the three of our Coven mates, Heather was busy doing landlord things, as their landlord might have had an accident the prior session. But the three other members of our Coven had a good kind of, well, at least productive discussion with Tobee, learning why he's doing the things he did and what his plans are, and they have decided to help. Obviously, that comes at a price for Tobee, where he was able to grant some of our Coven mates a few boons. And as we get back to the current time, 3 days have passed. 2 days have passed, and you are now back at the apartment, all the way in the Upper East Side. The repairs have been done. Tobee has apologized to Geraldine. You know so because he went to you sporting a huge red welt on his face as a slap from Geraldine. He mentions it is well-founded and fair, but he also dropped a package of stuff that you might need for the heist. After leaving, we open Sufi. You hear the doorbell ring, and as you open the door, it is a familiar face. You see him around at shows, at red carpets, an assistant of one of your colleagues, sporting a huge vase with a lovely assortment of flowers. Miss Tutan, sends their regards to you. This is for you, and hands you over the bouquet.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you. Wow,
Yes.
These are magnificent. They're so lovely.
I will let the madam know. Good day. And then just walks away. You notice that this man looks a little tired, but a little pale. Still the daylight, but he is quite something off about him. He leaves, closes the door, and there's a card. Big one. Big red one. And as you open it to read, it says, "Happy belated birthday. I am sorry to have not been able to give this to you. I've been so busy with my new line. You, my darling, have aged like fine wine. 40 does wonders for you. Love, Diane."
Well, she didn't have to point out my age. Honestly, aging like fine wine. It's really rather ripe of her to say, considering her condition. What does that even mean? Who points out a lady's age?
And Francis, you're hearing this from the bench.
Yeah, with his wife senses. He walks out. He's like tying his tie. Pretty
Francis,
flowers.
darling. Yes, look at these beautiful flowers, aren't they lovely? They're from Diane. She also sent a card. And they're a belated gift, a belated gesture for my birthday last month.
Oh. Yes, it's a good time.
In this card, which is kind for her to say that she thought of me and didn't get to send the flowers out in time, yada yada yada. That's not the part that I'm clearly so miffed about. She had the audacity to point out my age, saying that I'm turning 40, which is fine. I'm a distinguished lady, but she described it as I've aged like fine wine.
Francis, you notice something on the vase. There's an inscription, and the inscription says, "May these flowers be a reminder how oneself can wilt at any moment, but the memory of the beauty still remains."
Francis is smelling the flowers, and he notices the inscription. He just inhales sharply, and inhales a whole petal.
What, darling? What is it? You can't take in all of the pollen, please. You should take a step back, dear.
Madame Touton. Quite a character.
You're telling me.
She's inscribed the vase with.
Inscribed
You don't
the
even.
What?
It's
No,
it's
let me
really
see, let me
nothing.
see.
It's really nothing. I love. It's. I would call it rude. I would call it rude.
You think?
Yeah, I would call it rude.
You think, Francis? Rude with
Yeah.
a capital R.
Yes.
Audacious.
Audacious.
Unthinkable. What is she trying to say? I don't have time to go to the spa. We have to catch a
Darling.
damn demon.
Don't look at me. My love.
What?
Youth comes not from the skin, it comes from the spirit. And darling, you have the spirit of a young, hot-blooded stallion.
What are you gonna say next? That I'm aged like fine spirits? Like a
No.
bourbon, perhaps? Maybe a whiskey or scotch? Ugh. Darling, I know that you actually mean well and you say what you mean. Ugh. 40 is a distinguished age.
It's
Am I
great.
not right? I mean,
When I turned 40, you know what I thought? I thought, my goodness, I'm 40. Finally, my life begins.
you know what happens when women turn 40? They become cougars. And then they get stereotyped. That they go after young, virile men and they have to get Botox and...
You're not a
I've never
cougar.
needed Botox. I have excellent genes.
Are you a
I just
cougar?
get facials. I shall hope not. I mean, unless you want me to be a cougar, I could be a cougar for you.
No, not. Let's
But that's neither here nor there. That's not the topic at hand here. I just, what does? I don't
think
understand.
not on it. She's trying to get under your skin, my love.
Clearly,
You're
she apparently
young,
thinks that I should put some Botox under my
supple
skin.
skin. My love, I need you to not worry about this. No, more so than I need you. You need you to not worry about this. Not only because we're about to go chloroform the Moss twins, but also this is just not a stress that's worth your time. I mean, my goodness, you're such a busy person. You're so gorgeous and beautiful and everyone likes you. Why worry about what Madame Dudon thinks about you?
Do you know what busyness does to you, darling? Over time, it's a math equation. Busyness plus time equals wrinkles.
Darling, I don't know math. So instead of entertaining that thought any further, how about we get ready? We put these flowers maybe in a new vase and give this one the chuckaroo, right? And
I do agree with that. I think that's an excellent idea.
they're
I
lovely flowers.
I don't need that vase to remind me that flowers wilt. It's just the audacity, considering what she's become. She doesn't wilt. That's not her thing.
That's, I think, sort of the heart of the whole situation is that maybe
That she doesn't have a heart, that she has to point out, that some of us have to go through the wretched rite of passage of aging to try to not look like some wrinkled old hag.
a shooting star is beautiful because you can only see it for a moment. I'm thankful to have laid my eyes upon you every morning for over a decade now. And there will be a time when I can no longer see you. But I will be thankful that I have.
Let's not think of that time when you can no longer see me. Because then that means I can't see you. And that is a reality I'd rather not dwell on.
Yes. I'm going
Thank
to
you, my
go.
dear.
Of course, my love. I'm gonna blow my nose because there
You
is
should.
a rose petal
Yes, you've got.
in my sinus. I'm in immense
You look like
pain.
a very handsome clown with your little yellow nose. You should probably go blow it off.
Thank you. I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
Deckard, you're in the other room. You see this. Like, you see this all go down.
Yeah, I mean, Deckard is not too shy about his age. He's, if anything, it's a little humanizing. I think he's just kind of smiling to himself in the other room, listening to Sophie have this crisis, and the sort of the sweetness with which Francis attempts to comfort them and whatnot. He's in the middle of like gearing up for war, like testing all of his little instruments and things like that, like getting ready to do this whole thing, and just also just sort of it's sort of just a nice moment in the other room, a nice juxtaposition for him, but not one I think he wants to necessarily. He doesn't feel like he is the elder to have like wisdom to pass down. If anything, he's relied on Sophie for advice for most things. So I think this was another one of those.
Okay. And you guys, get ready, you prepare, you head over. Are you guys all going through the same entrance, or Deckard, are you taking some other entrance?
Deckard will be going in a different way.
Okay.
Before Deckard even goes in, Deckard wants to get essentially a layout of the place and see if he can't locate exactly where the spearhead is and everything else.
Mhm.
And I think what he's going to attempt to do is from the outside, with his own handheld radio, putting his headphones on and dialing in, he wants to try to sort of tune in to it's a modern, is this like an apartment?
It's like a refurbished kind of apartment building that had several apartments before, and just like leveled it and just like made like this whole one house. So this
So this is the whole building's essentially there. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like 4 floors and it's just a house.
Yeah, he's going to attempt to essentially tune into every electronic in there is giving off some sort of vibration, some sort of energy, something. And he wants to almost like echolocate throughout the whole building if he can, to sort of get a mental map of, or not even a mental map, an actual map using his sort of devices, and start with getting the layout of the place if he can, using like some correspondence and forces and whatnot.
I think it's going to be correspondence and matter.
Got that too.
And roll me those plus your arete.
I'm wondering if Sophie can team up and cast location, like geolocation on their warding objects, so that we can sort of like know where each other are in this echolocation map that Echo is building.
Okay, so all right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna play this out first. So Z and Sophie, you guys enter. Francis and Sophie, you guys enter, and the butler brings you to the study. Mr. Moss will be with you shortly. Can we get you tea, coffee, water, sparkling, flat?
Sparkling water, please. With
And
a
enough.
lemon.
Of course. The same for you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Jeeves.
It's actually Marcus, but I will be back with your water.
My bad.
And Marcus goes, Deckard, roll me your pool and add 1 die to that pool as well.
Okay. I rolled. I got 3, which is not as much as I should have for how many dice I rolled. So I used the willpower, and it is now 5.
Okay. You also have quintessence if you want to use it, but if you want to save it,
I'll save it. I'm good with the 5.
okay, with a 5. Yes, that is actually 1 above what you needed. It was a difficulty of 4. You get the layout of the whole house. You notice that there are disruptions in the waves, but you chalk it up to people passing these thresholds and rooms because of the movement of the disruption. It's kind of like a steady movement. With a 5, you notice a movement the 3rd floor, and that it exits a window. The vibrations goes up and down. The 4th floor is unoccupied. 3rd floor, a room farther from like the first disruption, is occupied. The 2nd floor, weird vibrations emit from the air as you notice that these materials, the reason why they're weird aren't because they are concrete or wood, it's because they are glass. You remember, on the 2nd floor, this is where the artifacts were hidden. You hone in specifically, trying to figure out whether you can single out the frequency of this spear, and you're able to do so with that 5. And it's there. There's no movement on the 2nd floor, only on the 1st floor, and a little bit on the 3rd. You're by an entrance, which is what you were informed as like the service entrance to the house. There is a fellow there, kind of young, early 20s, smoking a cigarette. You see he has a towel on his shoulder. He's wearing an apron. He's wearing Crocs. You're like, kitchen staff. And he sees you, he's like, hey, old man, what you doing over here? Can you hear me? I think you need to take out your headphones. What are you doing here?
I'm supposed to be doing something or whatnot. Wait, you work here?
Yeah, I work here. Wait, are you the electrician that they called over? There's like a few like switches and plugs that need to be repaired. I don't know. Marcus told me to expect a electrical technician. Are you that guy?
No, I'm not. Wait. Oh, wait. Actually, yes, I am.
All right. Throws away his cigarette, wipes down his hands. Look. Yeah, I'll show you in. I think Marcus is handling some guests over at the study. Yeah, come on in. And he opens the door for you.
Yeah. As I step inside. Well, what's the first room? Is the kitchen you said?
Well, it's not the kitchen. There is kind of like a, what do you call this? A mud room where, where there's like a bunch of carpets to wipe down. If you need to put down dirty work boots, there's a space there. And then after the mud room, you find a stretch of hall that goes towards, at the back, you see a set of stairs going up. And to the left, there's like an opening, and you hear clanging of pots and pans. And you hear a few people like chatting. You see one person there standing by the threshold, holding a kind of like a tray, waiting for something. It looks like that's the kitchen, and there is another kind of pathway to the right. You're not sure, but based on the layout of the house that you remember, that's probably going to the main foyer, to the study, to the guest rooms, and then the main staircase going upstairs.
Okay.
And he comes up to you, he's like, okay, look, so, we need you to go all the way upstairs, but I thought you might want to shut down the breakers first for that floor. It's all the way down here. He leads you down to the stairs at the end of the hall. It says, breakers down there. Be careful. There's like a few things, like a few boxes lying around. They're a little precarious, so make sure you don't touch them and make sure it doesn't fall on you. But yeah, I'm Greg, by the way. And he holds out his hand to shake yours.
Me too.
Your name's Greg too?
Yep.
Did you look at that? All right. Well, Greg, yeah, if you need any help, I'm a kitchen staff, so I don't really know the house well, but I'm happy to help, all right? Kitchen's just right there.
Who else is here?
You ask Greg.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Like, is there something fancy going on where they don't want to, like, see a worker walk in or something? Or is it all right to do what I gotta do?
Well, not really, but they're pretty particular. They don't really like the staff using the main staircase. They really like it they really appreciate it if we use the service staircase over here. So,
Got it.
yeah.
You ever see them smooch each other?
He looks back. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I heard giggles.
Yeah. Giggles are either a good thing or a really bad thing. All right.
I mean, it could be a really good thing depending on who you're asking, but if it's them involved, I don't know, man. This ain't Alabama.
Greg to Greg. I get it.
Yep. All right. And he holds out a fist to pump yours.
Yeah.
All right. And he goes back to the kitchen. Going back to the two of you. Marcus comes with the waters. Is there any particular reason for the visit?
We were in the neighborhood. We wanted to stop and see how our friends were doing after, well, the events.
It's very
earlier this
kind.
week.
It's very kind of you. Well, because there is no urgency, I will phone up. It might take a while. Mr. Moss was quite busy, but I did inform Miss Jennifer of your arrival, so we should be down shortly. If you need anything, ring the bell, please, and I will come to you with whatever assistance you may need. And he just
Excellent. Thank
bows.
you so much, Greg or Marcus.
Thank you. He just looks at Francis and just nods and just like walks away. Are the two of you doing anything in particular right now?
What floor are we on?
First floor.
Second?
First floor study.
Floor? Imagine Sophie's just sort of like scanning, looking around.
What's in awareness?
Yeah. About that. Wits and awareness check. That is 3 successes.
Okay, with 3 successes, you scan around and you notice there's a trash can near the desk. On top of the trash can is torn pieces of red paper. The tear is not a clean tear. Based on past experiences after experiences with like bosses in the fashion industry, it is a frustrated tear.
Sophie's gonna kind of just saunter over and hover above the can and take a peek down to see if she can make out what it might say.
You can easily pick it up and place it together if you. It's dry. It's dry trash. There's no disgusting stuff there.
Okay. Yes, Sophie will do that. Just discreetly kind of put it together on the corner of the desk.
You put it together, and what it says is, your past is back. Your debt needs to be paid. I'm coming.
Oh my. And so Sophie is gonna just sort of like point Francis for Francis to take a quick look and read it, and then after he does, she's just gonna like quickly and nonchalantly just like brush it back into the garbage.
Wait,
Oh,
I'm gonna
just kidding.
sniff it. I wanna
Because of
sniff
course you
it
are.
and see. Well, probably, you know what's probably better? Using magic. What magic would I need to do to say? I want to, like. Oh, that would be spirit, wouldn't it? I want to find out who wrote this.
Okay. So
Okay.
I was gonna say, if Francis says that, then Sophie might be able to do something.
Okay,
I will say that. Who wrote?
you're trying to. If you want to use time and either entropy or correspondence with your arete, and add a die for Sophie's help, I need you to get 3 successes.
A die. Entropy?
Time
you
and
said?
correspondence or entropy.
Yep, correspondence or entropy.
I can do this. Darling, do you have any other ideas before I check it? Considering I only have 3 dice to work with.
Let me know what you smell. Perhaps you can pick up what the paper's made of, or where it came from, or who wrote it. And I'm gonna just see if I can get anything out of the writing. And Sophie's gonna take her finger and like trace along the writing or the text, whatever it is.
And you want to do the same thing?
Oh, I thought that was to add my dice. I could also
yeah.
do it, I guess.
Yeah, just to add your dice.
Okay.
Okay. I'll
So
do
now
it
you have
then.
4?
I have 4. No, I have 3 with Sufi's. Arete, 1. None in time, none in correspondence. Did you
Oh,
say entropy?
Entropy, you can
Then
use entropy.
Unless
is your-
Sufi wants to do it.
I'm like, maybe I should do it.
Maybe you should do it. You have all those and a reroll too.
Yeah.
I don't have time, but I do have 2 correspondence and a reroll, if that's okay with the storyteller.
Yes,
Okay.
that is okay.
So correspondence, no time.
And
I do have to roll
because-
arete.
And because your lovely husband is helping you out, add a die.
An extra die. Okay. We got this. We got this. I'm gonna reroll. Spend my reroll.
You could also spend
Because,
willpower to reroll.
Okay. Okay. That's 2 successes, and then I'm gonna do a willpower to
Okay.
reroll. Yeah, 3 successes.
Okay. With the 3
Is that enough?
successes, kind of, this fragrance becomes physical. And it kind of shapes the appearance of the room. It kind of changes. It kind of creates this VR kind of effect. And you see man, dark skin, dreads. Well, not dreads, like a faded kind of crew cut. He's in a jacket, and he is slipping the letter in the mailbox. You don't really recognize this face, but now that you've seen it, if you do see this person, easily recognizable. You see that he has a scar on his lip, and that's about it. We're gonna go back to Deckard. Deckard. Now that you're in the basement, what are you up to?
Now that we're inside, Deckard is going to be a little more comfortable doing some reality warping. I wasn't sure if there'd be wards and whatnot. So once he's inside, the first thing he's
Surprisingly, after your echolocation, no wards. For a rich person's house, no wards.
Curious. Okay. He's going to adjust the waves around him, specifically the light waves, to make it where any light waves that hit his vicinity will instead curve and bend, essentially making him invisible to the eye.
Okay. Roll Arete, Forces, and Correspondence, I think. Or Matter. Oh, actually, no, not Matter. Correspondence and Forces. With your Arete.
All right. That's
And I need you to get me also 3 successes. This
A lot
is
of
quite of a
dice.
difficult task.
all right. I got 9 to roll here.
Yeah.
4
Do you-
successes.
4 successes. Okay, you are successful with making yourself invisible. Although you do need to remind yourself, light refracts around you, but sound still emits from your shoes, your clothes. So,
Mm-hmm. He can also manipulate sound vibrations, but he knows the more effects you have up at a time, the harder it is to maintain them. So this will do for now. And instead of walking there, since he knows the second floor is clear and that's where he needs to be, he is going to relocate himself there. Essentially tune into one of these vibrations, find a pinpoint of the basement where it's at now, and one of those things where 2 points at different places really are the same point if you look at it the right way. Sort of step through and attempt to teleport essentially to the second floor.
okay.
Ideally in that room where he is
Because of your earlier success, Roll me correspondence and arete, and I just need you to have 2 successes.
Okay, that's 4 dice. This one. I'm gonna use my quintessence to.
Yeah.
Just need one more here, which gives me 2.
Fantastic.
And I will mark my quintessence.
The vibrations you see, it's very much like a Daredevil comic. The house comes in waves. Everything is black, and the only person that you see is yourself. You're walking towards this point, and you see a string going upward. You touch this string, and like a jolt of lightning, you find yourself on the 2nd floor. In this black and white kind of, your surroundings start to have color again. Albeit a little muddled because of the light refracting around you to make sure that you're still invisible. In front of you, you see the spear, the tip of the spear that you need. I think within the package, you are given a glove. There is a glove that came with your package that, to Tobee's words, can make you go through glass. So if you trust Tobee, you can use those. Or if you have a glass cutter, you can use that.
He's stubborn. He doesn't want to use anything Tobee helped him with, but no one's around to see that. So this will also be, we'll see, either this will fuck him over or Tobee's actually helping. So he will attempt to use the glove.
All right. He attempts to use the glove, and just like Tobee said, glass ripples like water. The other side, and touch the spear. It's a little warm, but also it's kind of like when you apply icy hot on your body, or like Bengay. It's warm to the touch, but also emits this cold. It's weird. You pull it out. Do you pull it out?
Yeah, I would real quick check if there's cameras in here.
Wits and awareness, please.
It's 8.
Just need 2 successes.
I got 5, so yeah.
You got 5? Not only do you see the cameras, but you notice where they're moving. So you can time it where it's away from you. It's looking away from you, and you can pull it whenever.
He'll do that, and he's gonna. The spearhead's small enough to like fit in the jacket pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the spearhead is about like this big, about a foot long, like a ruler.
Yeah, he's got a sort of his work coat, stick it in the pocket there, and he will attempt to do one other effect, at least for a little bit, so everyone is out safe.
Sure.
Which is, he wants to leave an after image there.
Okay.
So when the cameras come back around, it's gonna look, for as long as he can maintain this, at least to a camera, that the spearhead is still there.
Arete and matter, please. And it's an easy thing, so it's an easy image, so 2 successes will be enough.
I did not get that, so we need some willpower here. Got 1. Reroll 3. 2.
Okay. A mirror image of the spear tip. Albeit not perfect, but to a camera lens, looks it looks like it's right there.
Yeah, so two different effects going on. I don't think he's going to attempt to do the teleportation thing again. But staying invisible, he's really on the second floor. He's just going to attempt to walk downstairs then. He kind of knows the way. He'll probably pass someone, but hopefully they won't see him.
Roll me a dexterity and stealth. I just need you to get one success for this.
Ooh, let's hope. That's not one. We're burning willpower. Let's try this again. 2 successes.
Okay. You step, there's a creak on the floorboard. You realize you need to be extra quiet. You still yourself. You walk downstairs. The exit is right there. Do you take it?
Mm-hmm.
You exit the building as soon as you close the door. Sufi, Francis. A blood-curdling scream erupts from the 3rd floor. Deckard, you can hear this, but you're outside. Still invisible. What do you do?
Just to be clear, 3rd floor is where the glass cases were?
2nd floor were the glass cases.
Oh, 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
3rd floor was
Did
something left.
Deckard tell
out
us
the window.
about the weird thing that went out the window?
If we would have done that before we all went in, then yeah, he would have updated on everything.
Okay.
It didn't.
We don't know it's from the 3rd floor. We just know that's from a floor above.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Would it sound like one of their screams?
No.
Is it... Okay. If it's not one of them, Deckard's gonna distance himself across the street and just wait for a second and see if they come out.
Okay.
Or to see if he needs to go back in.
Okay. Sufi, Francis, what are you guys doing? You start to hear footsteps rushing upstairs.
Francis.
I will send him a message actually, because I could do that with correspondence.
Or your
I'm gonna
phone.
kinda-
Yes.
Yeah, just panic for a second. I'll pull out his little like tape recorder and speak into it. Tuning it in towards just gonna reach their ears.
I'll give it to you for free. I think you did a good job with. I like how you went through the whole heist. Give it to you for free. What is the message?
Okay. I'm out. I have it. I don't know what that was, but I don't think it's our business.
Okay. The two of you hear this. You hear this in your mind, and you start to hear footsteps rushing upstairs.
Darling, we were just passing through, stopping in to say hello. Perhaps we could just escort ourselves out? Sounds
Someone could be
something
hurt.
Personal? Perhaps.
Maybe it's worth just a peek, and then we can leave if anything, or you can leave. It's up to you.
Okay, let's go see what it was.
Okay.
Let's go see if everyone's okay. And we brush up the stairs and the sound of the footsteps.
Yeah, you rush
Or
up
in
the
the direction.
stairs. Nothing's on the 2nd floor. You can see an after image of the spear tip. You're
We're
wondering,
not going to look too hard there. We're just going to...
keep
keep
going
going.
up.
Mhm.
This is the living quarters. This is where their rooms are. Personal offices. One of the offices towards the back of the building. Some of the staff are crowding. Hysteric screams from a woman emit from this room. You push your way through. Yes.
I was going to say, do we recognize the voice?
Yes. Jennifer is hysterically crying, shouting. You push through and you see with his throat slit and a huge cavity in his chest. Jonathan Moss, lying in a pool of his own blood. Jennifer in it as well, soaked to the knees in her hands. You see the panic in the staff. What do you guys do?
Oh dear.
Phew. Francis is gonna step forward and then say, Jennifer? What happened here?
Francis, help me. Is there anything you can do?
What happened?
You're much more skilled than I. Please.
Jennifer, what happened?
I don't know. I walked into the study. I was gonna ask if we were gonna head down to see you two, and then this. Oh my god! And she's just hysteric, bawling, her mascara just running.
Okay.
Sophie's gonna.
You see the chest cavity is empty.
And empty, as in
Empty.
what's supposed to be there is not there.
Well, what you expect to be there is not there. Everything around is still.
Right. Okay. So I was about to say Sophie reaches down to hold Jonathan's wrist for a pulse, but maybe that doesn't matter.
Yeah, like from sheer panic, you try to look for a pulse, and then you notice this scene. You notice the image. Please, Francis, Sophie, do something, do something. And she just yells at the staff to get the fuck out.
Francis is just gonna lead her away and like make sure she's not looking at the dead body and give her a hug.
Does Jonathan wear glasses?
No.
Okay. I'm looking for like something on his person, jewelry, something.
You see on the ground, maybe a foot away, a small cufflink that came off of his shirt.
Okay. Gonna grab that and see if I can get any information as to like what happened or how it happened. Like
Wits
if there's anything I can get off of
and
that.
wits and investigation. Is that a thing? I keep forgetting.
Yes. To
Yes.
investigation.
You need to get 3 successes.
Where are my wits? Hello, wits. There we go. 3?
Yeah.
I can. How is my quintessence used again? Can I? Use
You can
for
add
this?
it. Yeah, sure.
Do I just re-roll?
You roll 1 more die.
Roll another. Okay. Yes, 3 successes.
Okay. You're noticing that the table, it's a heavy table. It's a heavy maple table, and it's askew, as if he was pushed from the what side would that be called? Where you, like the side where your legs would go. So from that side, it was pushed. The chair, you notice that there are kind of not slash marks but chipped wood. You see there's blood stains on the table. You see paper is cluttered about. You look around and you notice something. The window. A blood stain. Handprint. And
Humanoid handprint.
yes.
Okay.
And lastly, another thing that you do notice at the window is a piece of fabric. Torn fabric. Kind of twill, cotton twill fabric, thick, maybe from a jacket.
I'm gonna grab that.
Okay.
I pass it to Francis. Darling, examine this.
Yes.
Give it a whiff. See what you can find off of it.
Before that, I'm gonna send a text to Deckard saying, found Mr. Moss dead upstairs. Come if you feel safe. Or not. Up to you. It's a really long text.
It's like those several threads of text.
Yeah.
Deckard begins texting back, but it'll take much longer than just use magic to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell me if this is a thing or not. Can I use spirit and mind going up to the body to see if I can figure out the last thing
Roll it.
he saw?
Roll it.
Yeah. An arrow take too?
Yep.
Roll back that beautiful.
I need you to get
Butterfly?
3 successes from this.
Easy. Oh, it's easy.
Do you have more? Like, do you have 6 in your pool?
Yeah. I have
You can take
4.
half. If your total pool is 6, you can take half and auto succeed.
Oh. Yeah. I
Okay.
have 4 plus 1 plus arete.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Auto succeed.
You auto succeed. Kind of like those cartoon, like, fragrance scents emit from the now empty cavity. You see kind of like Jonathan Moss standing over his body. He looks at you, and as your eyes lock, you kind of get transported to a different time, and you see the same man with the lip slit. Do this. I think with that, you also hear Jonathan say, well, actually the man say, "Sorry, bruv. It's only business. You knew my pops. And this was a job that he needed to finish." And you hear Jonathan say, "I don't even know you." Well, you knew my father, Gendry Myers. So, let's just get on with it. And he just slits the throat. After that, all goes blank. You're not sure why the heart is missing. You see Jennifer, now catatonic, just staring at the lifeless body of her brother. You start to hear sirens at a distance.
Jennifer, darling, I hate to ask you this question in this time of shock, but do you have any idea who could have done this and why?
Just starts nodding no. Looks at you. I loved him. I loved my brother so much. And now he's gone.
So sorry, dear.
Walks over to the body and cradles the head. You hear downstairs. The door opens. Paramedics are here.
I said bad, but surely paramedics are not gonna understand why this poor man's chest cavity is empty.
More than that, we do not
we
have the
understand.
time to get stopped and questioned and have to talk around magic to detectives because Deckard's outside waiting with the Spear of Destiny.
I fear it's a little late for that, darling. We're already here, standing above this dead man's body.
We should turn them away somehow. Normally this would be the job of people with more power, certainly, but if we can get the police away and maybe get Archambault to come pick this up, surely we can ask about it later.
With that mentioning, you guys get interrupted by the paramedics. Like, excuse me, we gotta get through. They tend to the body. A few moments later, a few steps. And the same gentleman that interviewed you from Archambault and Associates. Right. Of course you're involved. Please tell me you're not involved.
We are
No.
not involved. We were passing through. We wanted to see how they were doing based on previous events. And this is... We were downstairs drinking sparkling water waiting for them to greet us.
With lemon.
Alright.
This is grisly. Jennifer has no idea who it could be.
Whatever. Have nothing to do here. I would rather not deal with you two right now. Get the fuck out. I'll figure this out.
Fine with me.
Expect a call in the next few days, just as a follow-up. Alright?
Sure. You can ask the butler, Marcus. We were truly just waiting in the downstairs for them to greet us.
We'll figure it out. Alright.
Before we're ushered out, just gonna stop by Jennifer and just say, it's going to be alright, Jennifer. Archambault and Associates are going to handle this, and we will be in contact with you very soon.
And she just
Give our
nods.
condolences.
Also, I'm gonna give them the scrap of cloth.
Okay. Now, you all come together from a harrowing event, but also a prize in a jacket. Few
I
hours.
was-
Yes.
I was texting you back, and then I started thinking about what they said about this government thing watching me, and it seemed weird that you were texting me in a moment like this, and your text seemed off, so I thought it was a trap. I destroyed my phone.
Sorry, you destroyed your phone?
Yeah, it all seemed. That was you who texted me, though?
That was me texting you.
Okay, you're gonna have to buy me a new
Oh,
phone.
yeah,
But,
well,
I got
we'll
the
get you
spare.
a new one.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Yes, let's go as far away as possible.
No chloroform needed.
Go a couple blocks to our place.
Yeah.
You guys walk to your place. You text Tobee. You text Heather. And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for sticking around. It's been wonderful. It's been fun. So hopefully you guys had fun, because I did. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Let's reintroduce to you the Coven. My name is Fabian. You can check my stuff out at Rockets and Pens. You can also find me here playing games and producing stuff. Tomorrow we have Symphony of Silos. I'll be producing that. And again, Tuesday, ET1 by Night, I'll be playing as Jet. And on Wednesdays, Cyberpunk Shattered Dawn. I play Badger, so check me out then. Badhouse RPG. Let me introduce to you my wonderful cast. Batty.
Hello again, I'm Batty, and I was playing Sufi. And you can find me at on Twitch and on Twitter and other social places at Bats Pajamas. That's BATZ Pajamas. And on Twitch, actually have been on hiatus, but I will probably be returning soon. Playing games, doing art, playing music. So would love to see you sometime.
Bully.
Hello, I'm Bully. I go by Table Goth places. That's where I do stuff. Mostly just YouTube, so go check me out there.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, Zach.
I am Zach or Z. You can find me on Twitter at ZachDevs. You can find me here on Thursdays, and next Tuesday we'll be having the Brine and Blight finale over on Stellaluna's channel. That's going to be at the same time as the Iter One by Night premiere for season 2. So if you want to just pop in and send us good vibes, we'd be more than grateful. But
Yeah. We can rate each other anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. Next week, just so you guys know, is going to be our penultimate episode. So catch that. Full party then. And yeah. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.